being too short and fragile. I'm going to move on to the next topic. So, New York City is.
I'm half Democrat, nigga. Half.
New York City
Half.
is having to make mass graves because of the rise of coronavirus deaths
My
in
stomach
New
just
York.
dropped when you said that shit. God damn, nigga.
I don't know if
Shit.
people realize how serious that is. Like, you do realize, like, people dig mass graves for, like, victims of war, like, casualties of war, like,
Yeah.
soldiers. Um, what the fuck?
What?
That's just crazy to me.
It's definitely not like the thing that you want. It's definitely not. But what other option do they realistically
No, no,
have
no.
at
I'm
this
not I'm
point?
not shaming them for that. Because obviously the people that are going to be in these mass graves, and I have not seen this video, I've only seen the headlines and like the article and stuff, and I am so sorry we gotta have Gail's old fucking hypocritical ass telling this story. It's just every other video was like 20 minutes long, and I know y'all don't have the attention span, and neither do we, but um I'm not trying to like shame them for doing it, because I understand that a lot of people in this time cannot afford funeral costs. They can't even afford a cremation, and they like cannot even physically see their family member because the doctors are prohibiting it because they don't want the family members to get coronavirus. So I'm not trying to say, shame on them for that. They have to do what they have to do. I'm saying it's fucking
Absolutely.
sad because usually you see in history, you see mass burials with unidentified bodies, war victims, slaves. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, this is crazy.
Hmm.
Like, this is crazy. This is surreal as fuck.
It's a wake up
Like,
call
this is
though.
surreal. This is definitely a wake up call.
Because everything, even like things like the Holocaust, you have countries that don't even speak about that shit. Meanwhile, we watched the Twilight Zone episode where that would have been 20 years after that
Right.
shit. That's a fresh wound, but they still wanted to reinstill because no matter how dark history gets, bro, if you're not looking at it, you're not learning, and
Right.
it can happen again. So that's why, and this is what Rod Sterling said. Rest in peace, nigga.
Right.
You have to leave Auschwitz standing. You have to.
Right.
You have to leave the cow standing. You have to leave motherfucking the Al Qaeda shit standing. You have to build monuments for the Twin Towers or rebuild that shit in
Because if
another.
you don't, then it's just gonna, people can deny that it existed. Like,
Exactly, bruh. And in this case,
because there's gonna be a point when all the people that were there to witness it are gonna not be here anymore. So stuff like that is very important.
yeah, so this is going to be one of those things that they write down and jot down in the history books.
Right. Like, I
That's going
hope
to be
y'all
it.
know. I hope y'all know that in, the next 20 years, our grandkids or some of y'all great grandkids are going to be asking us what the fuck was going down for research papers and shit. Like, I
Oh,
don't think people
absolutely.
realize how big this is. Like,
You might as well write that motherfucker now,
that's what I'm saying.
bruh.
Like, that's why I've been vlogging and like doing all of this stuff, because it's like I really do feel like in 20, 15, 20 years, shit.
You think it's even going to be that long, nigga?
Yes, because we're gonna have to bounce. We're gonna have to bounce back. Like, it's gonna be a thing.
You
It's
think
gonna
so?
be a thing.
I don't
Yes.
think it's going to be what people think it's going to be. I mean, they're saying that 50 million Americans are going to get checks in the mail next week. Or in this case, direct deposit, right? 50 million. That is 1/6 of America, my nigga. Is going to get at least a band, right?
Yeah.
In most cases, right? So, and then they also admitted that $200 billion, when this is all said and done, is just going to go missing because of fraud. So they basically said that they're
We're
going to
gonna be
steal
commit.
from
We're gonna
us.
steal, right, to do. I know. I peeped that
This
too.
shit
And
crazy,
then another
bro.
thing
These
to think
niggas
about
gangster
is,
as fuck.
it's like, okay, so we're gonna steal from whoever, ourselves, whatever, and
No,
it's
they're going to
just,
steal from us
yeah, I know.
because they
And
get
then
tax
it's
breaks.
like, so we have all this money now, but like, what happened in Flint, bruh? Like, what the fuck? What happened?
What
Like,
happened? That's a sad story, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like, drop the fucking ball on that
Drop
one.
the fucking mic. You got
Well,
people.
here's the mass burial because we've both been rambling. We're both at fault.
Today, with an alarming new milestone right here in America, New York State now has more reported coronavirus cases
Fuck
than
you, Gail.
any country in the world.
You heard that?
Yeah.
Just a second. The new pictures are a disturbing reminder of the human toll of that. This is a mass grave being dug for coronavirus victims
Oh my God.
at New York City's Potter's Field, where unclaimed bodies are laid to rest.
Yeah, it's a reminder there that the poorest and most marginal are bearing the greatest burden in this
That's
crisis.
what I was saying.
So those are the niggas that they don't even know who they are like that.
No, those are the people that, like I said earlier, I had a feeling that's what that was going to be. Basically, those are people, you know how when somebody just die, people do GoFundMes because they didn't expect their loved one to die so young or so suddenly because they just don't have the money.
Yeah.
So, but they still can't even afford a cremation type shit.
I'll say.
And they also cannot physically see their family members. So it's like, I can't afford to really properly bury them, but the state is going to bury them for me. So that's pretty much what's going on.
Nigga, burn me and sprinkle me.
Nah, for sure.
Fuck.
And COVID cases reported nationwide, and the death toll is now well above 16,000, but there are signs of improvement.
Wow.
I was about to say, bro, if you think of 500,000 people have that and 16,000 people died.
Right.
That's not the worst case scenario. It could be a lot worse right now. It really could be, bro. Because this disease could have been a lot more cutthroat with us. Like, niggas need to really live every day. Like, remember this shit. Because we talked about it yesterday. Life has always been fragile. You've always been this close to death. Now you're seeing it. You see it. You see what something like this could do not only to our pockets, but our way of life, the things that we love. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Our demeanor, our fucking sense of self. All right,
Mark
don't take it lightly.
Mark says, I wonder if when our grandparents/parents were going through crazy stuff, did they internalize how they'd be telling stories and relaying it to us in the future? I think so, because when I asked my grandma about Woodstock, she's told me some stories about herself in the past that kind of switch up. But when it comes to like major ass events, like her seeing Martin Luther King as a child, or like her
Martin Luther King as a child.
yeah, she was born.
Now I feel like
she
she's
lived
like
in Detroit.
Like she just
Right,
lying about
right,
everything.
right.
Remember, I was on the bus with Rosa Parks, motherfuckers. Let me stop. Let me fucking stop, bro. Let me stop.
Bro.
Like,
no, that is funny though, because if my grandma was really like that. No, because her story.
I didn't kill 50
No, because my grandma's story, she'd be like, "Yep, it was 1977, and I was rooming. I had a roommate. She was black. She was a soul sister, and the cops pulled us over, and I got a felony." I'd be like, "Wait, is that
Thank
the truth?"
you, Mark, bro. We can only fucking control ourselves.
I really do feel like they did know though, because my grandma tells me about how she asked her parents if she could go to Woodstock because she was a teenager at the time, and her parents told her no. And she listened to her fucking parents and did not go. But she knew that it was going to be a big deal. Like, everybody knew. Everybody her age was hitting the road and, like, doing their thing. But instead of being a traditional-ass hippie, my grandma went to college. And, yeah, that's just what happened. But she told me that she regrets it. She was like, she really wished that she would have went. And she knew that it was going to be big. So, yes, the same way that we know this is gonna be in the history books, they knew too.
They didn't have enough bathrooms. There was shit.
And then back then, everything was like word of mouth anyway. Like,
a lot of people got raped. A lot of people got.
Oh,
STDs.
Definitely, it was really bad. A lot of people died. Yeah, people died
because they were barefoot. Like, but I mean, anything to see Carlos Santana when you're high on acid.
Or Jimi Hendrix, Star Spangled Banner. That was fucking legendary.
This nigga burned a guitar on the stage.
That was legendary.
But Carlos Santana did his first performance there.
He did.
Woodstock. Holy shit. God bless New York. It's declining. So, I mean, this is a result of 2 weeks ago, basically.
Right.
And I saw y'all say the shit about niggas dying at an alarming rate when we're only 16% of the population, and I agree that that's a travesty. But one thing I agree that we could all agree on is niggas do not listen to shit. Niggas tend to not listen to the government. I mean, dog, for all we know, they could be having trucks with Corona gas just driving through the hood spraying. Cause Jan make you sin, nigga. I'm saying, I'm Sinbad in that bitch. And I see a truck spraying gas all down motherfucking 25th. I like,
I feel like you've told me this before. I'm trying to
that
think.
shit's kind of strange. Cause when there's mosquitoes over here, have you ever seen a truck spraying?
I remember you told me about it. Yeah.
That shit's sketchy, bro. So I'm not saying that's out of the window, because honestly, I don't know, and there's no such thing as educated. You're either learning or you're not. But my niggas don't listen. So
Somebody said, no, Zoho said, I don't think my grandparents did, because they don't tell my ass shit about life growing outside of their family bubble.
you're right, Jasmine.
Honestly, yeah, some grandparents don't, but like I'm telling you, bruh, if you do have a living grandparent or a living great grandparent, like just ask them about their stories, like please, like do it, bruh, because you're gonna want to be able to pass like stuff like that on. Like I have so many like cool ass stories about my great grandma and like my grandma that I asked my dad and shit like that about. Like you're gonna want like, even if you don't want kids, like just for yourself, to know where the fuck you came from and like what the fuck they've been through. Especially, I feel like it's easier when you're like grown though, because I really wanted to know shit like that when I was younger. Like I wanted to know like, ooh, do y'all be partying? Do y'all be turning up? What y'all be doing? Like what y'all be doing when you be making us go eat at the kids' table? What's up? Like what y'all doing? Like, but parents and grandparents don't want to talk to you until you're like grown, and I mean like, because my dad even said to me and Daniel, he was like, look, I would not be like drinking with y'all if y'all didn't have your own shit and like jobs and like shit like that. Like, because he was like, because if y'all didn't, then y'all wouldn't be like grown to me, and then it would be weird for me to be like doing adult activities with you if you weren't adulting. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah. Damn, Ayana just found out her grandpa was a sharecropper, dog.
Wow, what?
That shit
Really?
crazy. It's crazy
I be
how
trying
like
to tell people like that shit's not old.
alright,
Like I've
fuck
been
it,
trying
fuck
to
it,
tell
fuck it. I'm gonna
people.
fuck y'all up. We remember the Dave Chappelle episode when they were talking about reparations for niggas. They said it would be about 2 trillion. This package that they're giving out right now, 2 trillion. They could have gave us fucking reparations for slavery, bro. Like real talk, and it would have been more than just $1,200 because it wouldn't have been every American. It would have been niggas, bro. You would have got something to at least help you motherfucking get ahead of whatever situation you in, bro, as a result of you not knowing your lineage, you not being passed down generational wealth. Like, bro, this motherfucking shit is out of hand, bro. Something that they always told us was not only irrational, was just fucking bullshit, they're doing right now. Niggas is finna direct deposit every American at least a couple hundred right now. White, black, Puerto Rican, Chinese girls. They got us fucked up, bruh.
Latoria said, explain sharecropping to me. I've been out of school too damn long. Okay, so basically what that was is when...
White power.
White power.
15 years in jail, respectively.
15 years. Bro, he has a gun. Wow.
Look at that truck.
Wow.
Bitch, you're done. Look at that truck. That bitch is an antique.
Wow.
That
And
bitch
the cop
came from
was
the
there
Civil War.
too.
Bro, they had a
They did it
convoy.
in front of the cops. Bruh.
Why would they do this? And why are the police protecting them? That's what I want to know.
Nah, bro. Obviously they got arrested.